Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Nintendo Rewind. We're rewinding and recapping last week for Nintendo, talking a little bit about GameCube games coming to Nintendo Switch Online, and not even a little bit about it. That's the whole reason we're here, is to talk all the games that are coming out on the new Nintendo Classics program for Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pass members. But before we dive into any of that nonsense, any of that garbage, Christopher, how is it going, my good sir? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. You know what? Enough about me, please. What about you? How are you doing?
We just got into how you were doing. What do you mean enough about you? Oh, man, I'm doing okay.
Listen.
Yeah. You always, turn this immediately right back around on me now here lately. I ask you how you're doing, wait for you to tell me what your week was like, and then you're like, I'm doing good. How about you?
Yeah. It's almost like I don't feel like talking about myself.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You should talk about yourself. You should tell the people how you're doing. How you holding up? How you doing things? What have you been into? What kind of chaos have you been causing?
Well, let's see. Well, yesterday was my birthday.
Happy belated birthday. I know I've wished you happy birthday before, during, and now after. Actually, happy super early birthday. Am I the first person to wish you happy next birthday?
You mean for 2026?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the first one to wish me a happy birthday for 2026. Early.
Oh man, happy today's not your birthday, says Susie in the live chat. Did you get anything cool for your birthday? Did you do anything cool for your birthday?
Did I do anything cool?
Mm-hmm. All right, get out of here, chat. They're wishing you happy birthday for 2027. You can't beat me to
it. Thank you very much. Well, too bad. You've already been beaten. Yeah, you got to get your spots in quickly. Who knows how many I got left? But
God, it's got morbid real quick.
Yeah. So,
happy 2050th birthday.
This is why I said. How are you doing? Yeah, I got some cool stuff for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I got this one thing.
What was it?
It was, you know the rules, Chris. Yeah. What? Wait. What are the rules?
The rules.
I don't even know if I could talk about the gift that I guess I can, right?
Why can't you? What kind of gift is it? Are we going to get demonetized? Is it one of those gifts?
No, nothing like that. Okay, I got a it was just a video. Someone hold on. How do you feel about avocado spray instead of Pam?
No opinion. No opinion? Okay. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it that much. I'm fine with it.
No, absolutely not. If there is a recipe with an avocado spray, no. It
Susie, I'm waiting. She's waiting. What are you gonna say? What could you possibly say that would be more baffling than anything that you're about to say?
Just no avocado spray, please, in your recipes.
Okay.
No. Okay. So I got a video. It was like a video of somebody that I watch on TikTok.
Let's shout him out. Who is it? Yeah, I've heard of a TikTok. I've TikToks a little bit here and there. Who is it?
Yeah, Cornrows. Her name is Corinna Cornrows. She goes by Corn. She goes by Cornrows. You know, she has a philosophy
CORNWROWS.
No, what are you doing with the W? Please don't get that W out of here. C-O-R, maybe two R's. We're not sure yet. It's Corinna. Corinna. Okay? But her middle name's Rose. She has a philosophy. Here it is.
I can't find this user anywhere on TikTok. What's the philosophy?
That more people should go by their middle name. Because her middle name's Rose. So she goes by Corinna Rose, or just Rose, or Corn Rose, or Corn.
Is it this person? Is it this person right here?
I have no idea. Yeah, that's her.
Oh, okay. I found them. Is this on? You got a video from her?
Yeah. So she sent me a video. Well, she didn't send it to me. She sent it. So she sent it to Sierra, and Sierra who requested it for my birthday, and then she was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing right now?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm eating dinner. I just got done making dinner." And she called me, and she's like, I don't care what you're doing right now. I need you to get to a computer.
Okay.
And so then I went and watched the video, and it was just her wishing me a happy birthday.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So it was like a cameo kind of situation, but not. Did you have to pay for this?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did it require monetary transaction? This was for those who aren't familiar. Sierra is my sister. It's CC Wire in the chat. But it wasn't a cameo.
It wasn't a cameo. No, it was just an email. And I was telling you last night that
She played the Sierra card.
Yeah, she played the Sierra card. So I emailed her and asked her to wish Sierra a happy birthday. She didn't get back to me, but she got back to Sierra.
I mean, when you play the Sierra card, like it has to happen.
Yeah, that's true. Man. Good point.
Here's what I'm seeing in the chat. Susie is the one who's saying the baffling things in chat right now. Someone sent him a scary video like from The Ring, and then said or pornography. And then
no.
She followed to say, I thought this story was going to end in some Rule 34 crap. I mean, it is the internet.
Here's the thing. I would laugh at that, but I don't know what Rule 34 is.
Really?
What's Rule 34?
All right. So I can't show it, obviously. Rule
what do you
34,
mean?
Urban Dictionary.
Hold on. Let me look it up.
No, I'm going to read it out loud.
You're going to get a live reaction?
This is Rule 34 of it, okay? And it says...
Wait, Rule 34 Urban Dictionary?
Yeah, and yeah, I'll just let you read it. I'll just let you read it out loud for the people. It's for the grown-ups.
Right. Rule 34, share definition. Okay, let's click on this.
Don't share it. You don't need to share it. Just read it.
That's what it said. That's what the thing said.
Don't share it.
Rule 34. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Nerdwire even knows. If it exists, there is corn of it. There is corn.
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose that makes sense.
How have you lived your whole life not knowing what Rule 34 is?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know every rule there is.
No, but you need to learn the rules. I want to know what predates the other 34, the other 33 rules, because I only know about Rule 34. I didn't pay attention to the rest of the rules of the internet. Oh,
let me just tell you something.
That is true. You did just learn that you could say "bless you" whenever.
Yeah. Yeah, I did just learn you could say "bless you" whenever you want. You don't even have to wait for someone to sneeze.
No, you can just.
That was fast. I mean, it still boggles my mind. I still didn't. Oh gosh.
Susie in the live chat, she said that she is backtracking just a little bit. She tried to convince people to call people by her middle name for a year in middle school because she always hated her first name, and that didn't go well. What is your middle name, Susie, in the live chat? I need to know. How did it go poorly?
It was Susie. Her middle name is Susie.
What's her first name then? Now I'm thrown off.
It's Susie.
It's just like Mario, like
Yeah.
Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got
man.
my teardrop. Also, can I just say, I just need to get this out.
Get it out.
I lost the game, and I'm pretty annoyed because Sierra said she lost the game, made me lose the game.
And now you just made all of our viewers lose the game, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is right. I hate the first Susie, though. Middle Susie is better.
That's right. Susie. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. No, my middle name's Travis. And I feel like I don't look or act anything like a Travis, but maybe I'm incorrect. I don't know. Poll for chat.
I could see it.
Poll for chat. How many of you guys believe that I'm a Travis? Maybe a travesty.
Yes.
You know?
No. I could see it. Sierra acts like her middle
Well, that's
name.
because her middle name is Storm.
Yeah.
Lots of
You
passion and fury behind that Storm.
If your middle name was Brat, you'd also act like that.
God.
Speaking of thanking our listeners.
All right, I'll let you do the thanks. Go for it.
Listen, here's the thing. We've got plenty of supporters. If you want to go ahead and support the show, head over to NintendoRewind.com. Thank you. I lost the page. Hold on. Where are we?
He's never done this part of the show. He's never had to do this part of the show. But you were doing a really good job. You were doing a really good job. Thank you to Chaotic, Shiny Bird, Calamity Nolan, and Sierra Christian for helping produce this show. You guys are amazing. Just to let you guys know that there are tiers. There is a supporter tier that's only $1 a month, and with it you still get a shout out on the show. But our producer and executive producer tiers are $5 and $10 respectively. It helps us make sure that we can keep producing at an even higher level of production here on Nintendo Rewind on an every week basis, which has been freaking awesome. This show's been going on 69 episodes is I think the episode that we're on now, and I'm so happy that it's still kicking. We're still going. We're still cruising. My goal.
Do me a favor.
Yeah, what's the favor?
No, you tell me what your goal is, and then I'll tell you the favor.
Okay, my goal is to try to make it to the Switch 3 before we call it quits on this show. So that's what I want to do.
The Switch 3?
Yeah, do you think there'll be a Switch 3?
Depends how the Switch does. Maybe. There's a possibility. And
you're only 17 episodes away from starting to talk about Nintendo.
We're on episode 69. Do me a favor. Go on Urban Dictionary and look up the number 69.
All right, 69.
It's fascinating.
Urban Dictionary.
Listen, I'll be honest. I haven't looked at it, so wait a minute. Okay.
So the definition of 69 on Urban Dictionary. Hang on, I can show this one. This is pretty funny.
Nice.
It's nice. And then the next definition, the blanking number that comes before 70.
Okay, well, I'm glad we got that sorted out. Because
I didn't know. How could you know? Yeah. How could we know? How could we know? Oh man, but no. I do thank our supporters, producers, everybody who has helped make sure the show keeps on the road and has given us a little bit of leeway to be able to grab some things for review coming up very soon. I will tell you how my week was this past week. It was uneventful.
Yeah, please do. Okay.
I played Fortnite with you. I watched Thunderbolts, and Thunderbolts was really good. It is a top 10 MCU film for sure. I heavily recommend everybody go buy a ticket, go watch it, go enjoy it, have a good time at the movies. And it's a good one. It's a good one. Top 10 MCU film, baby.
That's
but
true. I might become a father tomorrow. Listen, here's the thing. Do you what was the best thing you ate this week? That was my transition. I forgot to ask you.
The best thing I ate this week?
Yeah.
Nothing was memorable. I really like this. This is the new Baja Cabo Citrus Baja Blast. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. You were talking about that the other day.
I got a 12-pack of it for the first time. Like, it's been good.
Yeah,
It's
you
been-
literally just went to Dairy Queen. And what did you got? Two things at Dairy Queen.
I did. I got...
Not to out you, but you did. You did get 2 things.
The reason it wasn't memorable is because it just happened. So I haven't had time to sit on it and think about how much
memory is
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I didn't factor in tonight as this week in my brain. Technically, yes, it is still this week, but it just happened for me. So I can't look back on it with any nostalgia, but I did. Every time I go to Dairy Queen, I get a chocolate malted milkshake because I like a chocolate malt. But what I got that was a little bit different also, I've had way too much ice cream, but I got a crispy cookie dipped cone, and it was like blue chocolate with like crispy crunchy cookie bits that were put into it. And it was pretty good on their like traditional vanilla soft serve. So that I'll tell you what, yes, that I ate that's the best thing I ate this week. What about you before we go into the main topic?
Okay, so that's a good question. What is the best thing I mean, those cheeseburgers that I made yesterday were pretty good. And then I've been eating some hot dogs. I ate 4 hot dogs today.
God. I had 2 hot dogs today too.
Listen, I don't care. Okay? You listen. Okay?
Why are you yelling at me?
I just need to get my point across. I need to get...
GameCube's coming in Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack, and that's only if you have a Nintendo Switch 2, which is kind of crazy. This past Direct, they talked a little bit about... Moving on.
Well, hold on.
No, moving on. You can't yell at me. Don't yell at me.
I did
You
yell at
raised
you.
your voice.
I had to because I just needed to get my point across.
Okay.
There's only 2 people in the leaderboard. You can yell at me if you want.
We're being told that she doesn't trust us hot dog eaters. Listen, the hot dogs I eat are not necessarily just hot dogs. They're Johnsonville brats. So they're bratwursts.
So it's like
they're like
horse
sausages.
meat, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's in it, but I would assume that it's not horse. But if it was, it's tasty and I don't care. I will eat a horse. I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. You've heard that.
Well,
you know, in Japan, horse is a delicacy.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know about you, but I'm not in Japan. In Kentucky, have you ever heard of the Kentucky Derby?
Never.
Did you know that's
What?
Kentucky?
What? No way.
Did you know?
No way. I would expect it to be in Skibbity, Ohio or something like that.
Largo,
Oh, man.
Pennsylvania. Yeah, it could be anywhere, but it's in Kentucky.
We're having a brat summer this year. That's what we're having, Susie. I can brat wash anything I want.
Do you think, are you going to, let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
When you go on, like, if you go on vacation, do you like to a beach or something? Would you like to have hot dogs while you're there?
I mean, it's not something I'm going out of my way to grab.
Well,
we are
just
in main topic territory. Why are we talking about beach hot dogs?
You hit the button before I was ready.
I was ready to move on with all this hateful yelling at me. Anyway,
Well,
I
hold
really
on.
want to
First of all,
switch
it
to
wasn't
Susie.
hateful because I yelled, "I love you."
You raised your
all right.
voice at me. Oh man, but no.
Okay.
NSO Classic Game Libraries. Let me ask you this question. I asked it to you right before the show, and then you got hateful about Nintendo 2 there for just a hot minute. It's being renamed because right
Let's
now
say
they've
goodbye
been
to
like
Sierra.
just the GameCube app and or not, my apologies, Super Nintendo app
Pardon?
and NES app. Like that's all they've been called recently. But they are renaming them to Nintendo Classics as a part of those different apps that you can get to play any of the retro libraries.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, the NSO GBA app.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And that I don't mind.
You
so
don't mind
much.
the name
classics.
change?
I don't mind the name change. I mind the fact that we're only getting 3 lousy GameCube games
That
at the
was my
jump,
follow-up
at the
question.
launch.
I was like, do you think
Yeah.
3 are going to be enough to keep you going? Like, and I think your exact answer was, we're not going to see any more until, what, September? Is that what you said?
September something. Yeah, we're gonna get some dumb Game Boy Advance game. Probably something. I don't know, Hannah Montana or something. But well, that would be better than whatever we get. But by the way, there was this really good GBA Britney Spears game.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I know what you're thinking. Okay, just hear me out.
I'm hearing.
It was a rhythm game. Oh, I'm a big fan of rhythm games, as you know. My favorite game of all time is a rhythm game. But yes,
Elite Beat Agents, for all those out there not knowing the one he's talking about.
Listen, if you don't know, you don't know. It's fine.
I was gonna catch him up. Listen, I'm trying to give them the Crest lore.
Yeah, 3 is enough for at least 5 to 10 minutes. That's fairly specific. Chris, you up on some Hannah Montana intel? Well, we'll see what happens in July when we get Hannah Montana on the GBA.
So what 3 games are coming on launch day for the Nintendo Switch 2, though? And that'd be June 5th, 2025, for those who aren't in the know on when launch day is.
Yeah, we're getting Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker. So we're getting that. We're getting Soul Calibur 2. 2 games have Link in it. And we're getting Star Fox. Or no, we're not. We're getting F-Zero GX. So, yeah. Here's what I'll say. I'm glad we're getting those 3 games, but at the same time, I don't know how much I'm going to actually play them. I might play Soul Calibur 2. I really liked it. I don't know how much I'll play it. I would have rather had Wind Waker HD.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like it's HD. Like it is improved resolution, they said. So technically it's HD.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the improved end game where you're like running around or sailing around trying to get the the Triforce pieces.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I'm very much looking forward to the Soul Calibur with Link. I just want them to give me Chibi Robo as soon as possible. That'd be great. Thank you. Please and thank you.
I don't disagree.
Although I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing before we throw it back over to you. The N64, they showed like all the games, the additional N64 games that were coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much all they ever released outside of a few extras.
Well,
but like
so far.
Yeah. Yes.
There's still room to grow. We've got a whole Switch 2 with that app still coming over to it too.
We'll see what happens. We might get another trailer with a few more, but it took way too long. And then not only that, but then they had wasted our time with multiple months of Mario Party.
Well, I wouldn't say wasted. That was pretty good. Those Mario parties are the best Mario parties in the entire franchise. Like, even all things considered, with the controller being awful, like, those are really good Mario parties.
They didn't even give us gloves to support our...
No, but they did bring back the N64 controller. They truly did.
True.
I will say, like, these are very meaty games. Like, they're not short games. All of them are there's a lot to do in there. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, probably in my top 5 Zelda games of all time, easily. But I really, really love Soul Calibur 2. It was the first Soul Calibur I ever played. It was my favorite Soul Calibur that I ever played. Still yet to this day. And it has a massive list of unlocks that you can do in that game. I mean, it is not unsizable. Like there is a lot to do in that game. And then you couple that with the fact that like F-Zero GX, maybe the best F-Zero game that has ever been released of all time. Crazy.
Do you like GX more than AX?
Yeah. I like GX the best out of all of them. 100%. GX was very cool. AX was the arcade one, right?
Yeah. Because couldn't you was that the one where you could take your memory card back and forth?
Let me look. Arcade interface. F-Zero GX, yeah, it had connectivity. You could download or upload special data. It had F-Zero GX data on it if you had a memory card, and it was possible to access and use custom vehicles contained there. So you could bring your cars from home and play them in the arcade machine.
Okay, yeah.
Which is pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I didn't remember that part of that, but I mean, that's cool. And I like a good arcade machine, but I love the fact that it convenience factor alone, like having GX at home. I know I sound like that mother from those memes, be like, "What do you need F-Zero AX? We have AX at home," and it's just F-Zero for the Super Nintendo. But it's not F-Zero for the Super Nintendo. It's GX on the GameCube. Genuinely loved it. Genuinely loved it. F-Zero X for life. Get out of here with that Nintendo 64 nonsense. But.
Yeah. Give me 64DD.
There we go. Get that disk drive going. But no, like there's a lot to do with those. And I think legitimately if you care about it, because what I would be really curious about mostly is how much people actually play on those classics apps. Like I mean, I know your gaming habits. You're booting those games up for like 5 minutes at a time and then you're done with them and moving on anyway. In most cases.
20.
Okay,
Maybe
20. My apologies. Sorry. My bad.
If I'm making a YouTube video, maybe 20.
Right. But like even my own gaming habits, I think there are only a few that I've went out of my way to beat on the Classics app. But my kids who don't have any other options to play those older games, they could, but I'm not going to let them come and hook up my Wii to my PC to be able to play down here.
Is there a reason why?
Yes, they're 7 and 5. That's the reason enough.
Listen, that is nothing to do with
They don't
it.
need to play on original hardware. They're pretty happy with the experience that they got, except for Nintendo 64 games. Those things suck on the Joy-Cons. But it's mainly because there's not enough buttons. But no, like, I don't even think that I really give a lot of time of day to the NSO Classics apps, and that just feels really bad to say out loud because I am passionate about those, but for the most part, I have better ways to play those that are more authentic and more true to the hardware itself, save for like, I don't know. They also generally suck on the N64 control. I mean, you're not wrong, Sakura. Control scheme on the N64 controller just really rough. But I love the classics. I love the retro games.
About every N64 game.
I do. I say that about every single N64 game. The only one it doesn't suck on is if you have two N64 controllers hooked up to play GoldenEye. Because you could use both the joysticks to be able to play with like actual like dual stick interface instead of the weird controls with auto aim.
Yeah, well, that's true, but still sucked.
The sticks were just too long and the gate was too wide.
Yeah, I think the games I probably played the most on the N64 were games that will never come to NSO, and that was like WCW, NWO Revenge, WWF No Mercy. They would have to change the name in the game to WWE because they can't use WWF anymore.
That's true. Sakura says you need 3 hands for the N64 controller. How many do you need for 2? This is the origination of the Squid game. You'd need 6 hands to be able to play that Squid game.
Yeah. It's that was the first instance of share the joy. How do you hold your N64 controller?
Left hand on the middle prong and right hand on the right prong. How do you hold it?
Left hand on the left one, right hand on the right one. I just hold like on the outside. Like
this? And what do? Reach over and thumb this joystick like this?
Yeah.
No, get out of here. No, you don't.
That's how I play exclusively.
No, you don't.
I never hold it in the middle.
How big are your hands?
My hands are big. Yeah.
How do you hit the Z button? Do you just like reach over like
with my middle finger?
Like this?
It rests on it. Yeah. Yep. Just like that.
You're so full of crap. I know we're talking about GameCube, but you have triggered me with this N64 talk.
I'm telling you, that's
hold
how
it like
you hold
this and like this. This is how you hold
Never
it.
Once.
This is how you hold it.
My hand gets cramped if I hold it like that. I have to hold it on both sides.
I can't even talk to you anymore. What do you mean? How do you hold? I need to see your hands with an N64 controller in there.
Okay, I'll get you a picture.
I need it. We'll share it on our social media pages, and we will. And I will ask, how do you hold an N64 controller? Susie, even holding it the wrong way. What is going on? What is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, but like okay. Let's try to derail the derailed conversation.
Interestingly enough, I hold the GameCube controller, the right hand on the right stick, and then the left hand on the C stick as well.
So you hold it like this, huh? Is it like this?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
Oh my
and then
God.
if I need to, I reach around and hit the L and.
I can't. What is this? But no, there's a lot to do, and I think ultimately, derailing the conversation from this derailed conversation, I think ultimately those 3 games are plenty enough to kind of keep us focused and on track for. I mean, if we do have a wait until September before we see another set of games come out, some of the cooler parts of this, though, that I think aren't really talked about other than in the trailer, is the fact that you've got 4-player online co-op, higher resolution than the original releases. But the thing that probably bothers me the most is the fact that these are all going to be Switch 2 exclusives, so you won't be able to play this on your Switch 1. In my mind...
You're saying it bothers you?
Yeah. In my mind, there's not enough there to justify it being exclusive. Like, the games are not that hard to run. Am I wrong?
Well, it's probably like when the GBA was only available on the new 3DS, and how they were like, we need to have it this way.
The only reason they need to have it that way is to get people to adopt into a Switch 2. That's the only reason.
Right, because they need to be like, oh, this is Switch 2 exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're paying even though you're technically paying for the GameCube, but since you don't have a Switch 2, you can't use it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's a benefit, but you don't have don't have the hardware. It does. It has the 4-player online co-op where you can join in on other people's hosted games.
You know, I mean, they've kind of been doing game share, haven't they? That's probably where they got
not
the
a new
idea
feature
with like NES, SNES, like all of them, where you could just sit there and play along, even with like the Game Boy single player games, and you can just take turns controlling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, so it should work smoothly.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think it'll be totally fun. It'll be okay. I've played Mario Party that way back in the day, and I'm trying to remember what if I've touched any other games with multiplayer like that. And the multiplayer, yeah, I have. I did GoldenEye. But
Okay.
it's like the latency really isn't that bad. It's only slightly slower if you're not the host. The biggest thing I need from them is that their connection stays stable. Because that's the biggest challenge that I think Nintendo's had with their online servers, period, with anything. If anybody wants to talk about an issue that Nintendo Switch Online has, regardless of what game you're playing, in most cases, like there is some stability internet connection issues all the time, like Splatoon, DC all the time from each other. Smash Bros was okay, but it had some significant latency. And I think a lot of it has to deal with the fact that like they do peer-to-peer hosting that way instead of doing like an actual server hosting, you know? So
exactly.
And I know if this operates that same way as all the other like online like Nintendo Classics apps, it is going to be peer-to-peer still. So I will host, you'll join my game, or vice versa. And it's going to be dependent entirely upon your internet connection on how good we stay together, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm trying to think of what else I played on there. I think maybe Zelda, right? For the GBA. Didn't they have the
Four Swords?
Four Swords. I don't even remember if I tried that, but then also maybe Mario Tennis on N64.
I think I did the GBA linked up Mario Kart. Whatever the GBA Mario Kart is called, Super Circuit.
Yes.
I think I did that. And I've done Tetris multiplayer as well. And that was pretty good. Like those were all pretty good. But again, it was like some of those were local area networks, some of those were playing online with friends. And it's going to be hit or miss. That is what it is going to be. It's going to be hit or miss.
Yeah. This is the second time, because it's not the Super Circuit was also a launch title. It was a launch title for GBA.
Yeah.
And now we got World, and that's a launch title.
Yep. Funny coincidence.
Mario Kart. Yeah.
We got 7 other games that were teased in that trailer, and I know they kind of flashed up pretty quickly while we were chit-chatting here, right after this Controls games. But 7 games they teased: Super Mario Sunshine, which surprises the heck out of me being on here; Fire Emblem Path of Radiance; Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness; Super Mario Strikers; Chibi Robo; Luigi's Mansion; Pokemon Coliseum. Those were the 7 other games that were teased, that were said to be coming for the Nintendo GameCube. And all of those are not necessarily going to be there on launch day. It's just those first 3, and then the rest of them are going to be added over time. But that's only a total of 10 games, and there's like GameCube has a pretty massive, very favored, heavily lauded library in a lot of ways. So out of those 7, like I mentioned, Super Mario Sunshine, I'm extremely surprised to see getting put onto here, mainly because of the fact that we kind of got it, even in limited capacity, with Super Mario 3D All-Stars as a release. Because we had Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy all at the same time on the Super Mario 3D All-Stars for the 35th anniversary of the Super Mario Bros. Franchise.
Yes.
I don't know that I expected to see like the actual like port of the original one getting put onto here. I understand why. It would be really weird to put out the GameCube app and not put that game on there, you know? Like that is a like franchise defining Mario. But out of those, I'm going to put these in an order. 1 through 7. We'll start with number 1, the one we're most excited for to get added. And then we'll see how well we match up. So what's your number 1 out of those 7?
Chibi Robo.
I'm not surprised at all. And immediately my number 1 is going to be slightly different.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
My number 1 that I'm most excited to see get added onto there is Pokemon Coliseum. What is that?
That was one of that and XD were probably 2 that I was excited for, and then they came out and I was like, I'll stick to the handheld ones.
It's been a long time since I've played through those, and I think, at least I hope they hold up in my nostalgia mind a little bit. But I'm pretty sure they were pretty well regarded. They're very different because they actually have difficulties. And you play both of those games very differently, especially Gale of Darkness. But I think they're interesting, and they're a very different addition to the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not my number 1. So you got what, Gale of Dark?
Yeah,
no,
I would put Gale of Darkness as my number 2. Coliseum number 1, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness is my number 2. What's your number 2?
Super Mario Strikers.
I thought you were about to say Sunshine. I was about to have a heart attack.
Absolutely not. That can go to the bottom of the barrel.
I like how most episodes you spend just chilling in Delfino Isle.
Yeah. Well, I'm
over here.
Just tearing the game apart.
Yeah. Super Mario Strikers, it's probably the best Mario soccer game that came out ever. And not that there's a whole lot of them, but there's enough there to say Strikers is the best one. My number... but let me hear your number 3. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
Have you played that one?
Yeah.
I haven't played that one.
It's pretty good.
I know it's blasphemy in some ways because a lot of people really, really love that one. But, I mean, I was the guy that was like, who is Roy? Whenever he hit Super Smash Bros. Melee. I was like, what is the point of Roy? Why is Roy our boy? I don't understand. I liked him as a character in Smash, but I had no history with him. My number 3 is probably going to be Luigi's Mansion. It's either my number 2 or number 1, depending on when you ask me, favorite Luigi's Mansion game. And that goes back and forth between Luigi's Mansion 3.
It goes back and forth between 1 and 2. Yes, I understand.
I get it. Falsehoods and lies. But Luigi's Mansion, I'm really excited to dive into with that. And then
that one's my number 4.
I'm gonna say, oh, you already did your number 4, eh?
Luigi's Mansion, because it's the same one you just mentioned.
So
but yeah, Luigi's Mansion.
I was gonna say probably Super Mario Strikers is my number 4.
Okay.
So we're kind of flip-flop there. I'll throw out my number 5.
Throw it out to me. Yeah.
I gotta throw it to my boy Super Mario Sunshine. I love Sunshine. I love Sunshine.
Number 5. Yeah. I'll give it to Sunshine over those 2 Pokemon games.
You're moving those all the way to the bottom, eh? Yeah. Then I will do. What do I have left? Chibi Robo and
I'll tell you what.
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
You're doing our boy Chibi.
No, I like Chibi Robo. Just because it's last on this list, there's only 7 games. Something's got to come in last. It's not saying they're bad. You're objectively saying Pokemon Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness is bad.
Right, which is why. I mean, you put Chibi Robo 7 spots below those bad games, so that's why I'm telling you.
You can't take it that way. You can't take it like that. I'm probably gonna go with Chibi Robo next, and then Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Oh man, that's so funny. It's not that it's bad. I'm not exactly sure who that person is, but I think they exist. She's talking about the person that would play Sunshine regardless. I love
Oh,
Sunshine. I'm that person. I will play Super Mario Sunshine again on the GameCube Nintendo Classics app. Like I 100% will.
I look forward to lurking during that stream. Here's what I will say: one thing I love to do in Mario Sunshine is to just squirt the water and then just slide on my stomach.
It's so fast. It's so fast. That's the speedrun technique.
Down. Yeah.
That's how you go fast.
There's lots of parts where it's like the water will give out and then I'll drop down and then I gotta go all the way back up this annoying climbing up the dang cage. It's like, golly, I feel like mankind after he gets thrown off the Hell in the Cell. I gotta wake my way back up there. My arm's broken. It's just, that's how Mario Sunshine makes me feel.
Oh man! Listen, someday I'll help you learn to love that game. I will continue to sing its praises. You
maybe one day
purposely
they'll remake
streamed it
and make it good.
No, they're not gonna remake it. The closest thing we got is Super Mario 3D All Stars. That's as close to a remake as we're ever getting. But one other piece of news with this, they showed off
something about I streamed it.
Yeah, you streamed. That's right. You streamed it one time without me being able to watch you play it.
I think Courtney watched me, didn't she?
Yeah, but I was live. You went live during me being live, and I didn't know you went live, and you literally said you were doing it, so I couldn't come watch.
Thanks for the support, by the way. Yeah.
What support?
You know? Exactly. I'm
gonna support you like a Dr. Scholes, baby.
I just lost the game again. Golly.
My little sister loves Sunshine, but she was like 7. Your 7-year-old little sister has great taste. That's what I'll say to the live chat there. They did reveal that we're getting another Nintendo Classics controller for this.
Yes, we are. With what?
Wireless connection, the pay to chat button, C button for game chat, and additional ZL button that is going to be like positioned right above the L trigger. And then the staple home and screenshot and sync buttons. Here's the thing that bothers me probably more than anything is the fact that I cannot get this on launch day because it does not launch for order until the same day, launch day of Nintendo Switch 2, June 5th. And it is limit 1 per Nintendo account to prevent scalpers. As if that's going to do anything because yes, while people won't be scalping it, it will still sell out immediately. I will still not be able to get it, but it won't be because of scalpers. And what that then does is limit my potential to even be able to get one because it'll be people who actually want it instead of selling it on eBay.
Yeah. Maybe you'll get it in time for August when you know what? The first game we might get for GameCube NSO, it might be October.
Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. It'll be the October GameCube game update for Nintendo Classics, Luigi's Mansion. I mean, they're not going to completely shoot everything out all at once. I had to really dig hard for a different way to say that than what I was going to say.
Listen, I still heard what I in my head. I heard what you almost said. So we're on the same page.
Yeah, thank you. But you know, I think we'll still get quite a few games. Especially early, they're going to want to front load that because that's what they always do with these Nintendo Classic apps is they will front load them with tons of games all at once, and then you won't get an update for like 6 months. So like that's what's going to happen. But there will be more games than just what they've teased so far. So I asked you to do a top 5 pick for future games to come out on the GameCube. And I put together a list of my top 5. And when you put yours out, it was completely different than mine and better in some ways. Ways that I wish I'd picked. You at least have one game on there I wish I had picked instead of the games that I picked. But
that's what I'm here for.
Thank you. But I'll start with my first prediction of what I think should come to Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo Classics, Nintendo GameCube. How many times do I have to say Nintendo to be able to get this app out? Metroid Prime 2.
One a day. Yeah.
Metroid Prime 2.
Prime 2.
That should be there day one. It's not going to be. But to get people hyped and stoked and ready for Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime 2 would be amazing to have.
I wonder if there is a Nintendo Direct in June, right? Like 2 weeks after the system comes out or something. Or the first week of July, they could announce that Metroid Prime 2 is coming out, and then you can buy Metroid Prime 3.
Download it today or wait a month for the physical.
Yeah. And Metroid Prime 3 is on NSO, and then at the same time give a date for Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 3 can't be on NSO. You're the one who told me that.
I meant eShop. 2 on the NSO and then 3 on the eShop, like a digital download.
That would be fine. That would be really cool. I'd be down for that. What's your number one pick for what you want to come to Nintendo Classics GameCube?
My number one pick is a game that I played quite a bit, Battalion Wars on the GameCube. Did you play any Battalion Wars on the GameCube?
I wasn't even familiar with the title when you put it on there. I was like, I don't know what this is. And I didn't go look it up. I figured I would let you tell me what it was.
Okay, so it is a Nintendo game.
It looks like Advance Wars.
It is Advance Wars, but in Japan it was called Assault! Famicom Wars, and it is just a real-time version, 3D version of Advance Wars. So it's like almost like plays like Battlefield kind of. But you can use the different units like infantry, the armored vehicles, aircrafts, but you actually just run and get into them and then fly around them. And it's online. Well, maybe it wasn't online. That's a great question.
Aesthetically, this one looks a lot like Advance Wars. Was it set in the Advance Wars like line of games legitimately, or are you just saying that?
No, yeah, it was. Yeah, in Japan, that's what it was called, Famicom Wars. Yeah.
That's cool. That is super cool. Yeah, I kind of want this. I really kind of want this a lot.
Battalion Wars 2. Battalion Wars 2, I was wrong. Battalion Wars 2 is the one that had online play, and that came out on the Wii. So we won't get it until the Switch 3, but
it's true.
When they bring out Wii Classics,
Wii Nintendo Classics.
Yeah, with the Wii remote, and it's got the C button on there, the 1, 2, and C. Yeah.
My number 2 pick.
But yeah, Battalion Wars.
Number 2 pick. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. I love that game. I love that whole trilogy, and they're all out on GameCube. Like, you could play all 3 of them. But specifically, I love Sands of Time. I think Two Thrones was the next one, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Sands of Time trilogy. Let me go and double check. What is the game? Warrior Within, and then the final one was Two Thrones. Warrior Within was really, really good too. Here's the problem that I have with those games and why I want them to come out on Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo Classics. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, loved it. Played the crap out of it. I got in Warrior Within, pretty close to leaving for college, and I played it while I was at college, and I got to the final boss. And I saved in the room right before the final boss. What that does, though, is unfortunately soft locks you in that final room before you get to the final boss. When you save there, it was a known bug on that version of the game.
Back. Okay.
So you can't go to the final boss. You're stuck in a save room. The door doesn't open for you to go in to fight the final boss. I couldn't figure out what was going on, and this is the early days of the internet, really, and in a lot of ways. For like game FAQs, YouTube was in its early phases, so I couldn't look up a video on what was happening. And so I didn't beat the game. Beat the game. I had already bought 2 Thrones ready to play through that. And I was ready to go. And next thing I know, didn't happen. I just didn't play it because I didn't see the ending. And I did not see the ending to Warrior Within until months later. Like, not even months, years later. Let me actually backspace a little bit. Years later, when gameplay hit the internet, for me to see what happened at the end of that game. And by that point, I'd moved on. Prince of Persia really wasn't like my thing anymore. I would love for that trilogy, but specifically Sands of Time, if I can't be greedy, I would love for that trilogy to hit GameCube, Nintendo Switch Online. Fatoma over on YouTube says, mine is all the GC Mario Party games, and I don't disagree. Microphone function is something that we can do now, so that's kind of cool. But what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Cubivore Survival of the Fittest. Now, this is a game...
Another pick I didn't know.
You didn't what? Know about?
I didn't know about
Cubivore?
this.
Cubivore was published by Nintendo in Japan, and then it was like one of those games before, Xenoblade. It was one of those games where Nintendo was like, well, this is not going to do well, so Atlas USA went ahead and released it. It was a game that was originally in started development for the N64 as a 64DD game and ended up coming to the GameCube. It was done by Intelligent Systems. I don't know if you heard of them.
Heard of Intelligent Systems?
Yeah, they do like Fire Emblem, Paper Mario, WarioWare, for anyone that doesn't know. And of course all the Advanceware games. But yeah, so it was like kind of like a game. There are there's like a bunch of different mutations of that. We're all like kind of like cube, like pixelated looking cube looking things, and you just go around and attack them and like try to like work your way from you like mix the different things that you are doing. There's like a mating system in the game as well.
It's like Spore.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah,
you could say that.
Kind of like that.
I'm gonna say that.
yeah. Go ahead and say it. Yeah, but yeah, Cubivore is definitely a game I'd love to see, and Nintendo. I don't know. I imagine they still own the rights because Atlas just localized it for America, so we'll see if it ever comes to GameCube.
I like how you're over here picking like the most like hard to find, most expensive video games of all time on the GameCube, and I'm over here like just naming the hits. I'm like, here are the hits I need to see.
Yeah. I love Prince of Persia.
Nope, yeah. I just want the reason I wanted is so I can play through it and finish it, hopefully. So like I need the trilogy.
Yeah, of course.
My next one is not a controversial pick in any way. I think everybody wants this, and it was Mario Kart Double Dash. Like that's my third one. Like I don't even have to pull up trailers for my games to show to the people. Like I can just be like, this is what I want, and everybody's like, oh yeah, I want that too. And you're over here naming games that they didn't know they wanted, but they do now.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm here for.
So, Double Dash. Yeah. I don't have anything more or better to say about it, but Double Dash should hit. Like it is one of those. That is the title that caused me to be able to get a GameCube. I tell this story all the time. My sister always denies it, but so we were going to be going to a Black Friday sale for the GameCube. you get that and Mario Kart Double Dash for like $100 combined. And then this is back when the GameCube was struggling. Anyway, and I remember it was Thanksgiving Day. We were gonna go to Black Friday the next day, and she's gonna fight me, but I'm gonna tell the story, and she can deny in the chat all she wants. I'm just not gonna show it on screen. But
she's not listening.
No, she's gone. She's gonna be listening though, because my wife's gonna tell her, hey, tune into the show now. But
oh yeah,
we were playing pretty rough. She was younger, and I was on a inflatable mattress that was down below my actual mattress because my grandma was in visiting, and I slept on an inflatable mattress while my grandma was there. She left after she ate Thanksgiving dinner to go back home to where she lived, and I had thrown my sister up onto the bed from the inflatable mattress. I threw her a little bit too hard. She went off the other side of my mattress, landed on the ground, and had fractured, not broken, not sprained, fractured a bone or something. And I was in panic mode. I was like, Mom, Dad, please, I am so sorry. It was an accident. We were just playing. Didn't mean for that to happen. They were like, we're not going Black Friday shopping. We have to go to the hospital now. And I was like, but Mom, GameCube. And she was like, I don't care. And so we drive to the hospital, which is like 5 minutes away from the Walmart. My dad must have had the patience of a saint because he's sitting out in the waiting room with me. My mom had to go back with my sister to go get everything looked at. And I know for a fact I probably begged my dad for hours. Please, Dad. Please. I am so sorry. Please, let's just go get the GameCube. We can get Mario Kart Double Dash. We can play a video game together. Because our thing was Mario Kart 64 for the longest time. Like, we played tons of that. And she gets done. She comes out. We end up deciding, my parents ended up going, okay, we're already here. We're 5 minutes away. The store's open in like an hour. We might as well just go over there. They were like, we need a vacuum anyway. And I was like, what, really? So I still was able to get the GameCube with Mario Kart Double Dash.
After you broke your sister.
I didn't mean to. It was an accident. It wasn't like I was trying to hurt her. Don't judge me. I didn't break anything either. It was a small fracture. It was fine. But that would be my number 3 pick. Number 3 for you, my good sir.
Okay. Number 3 is Geist, which was a game by N-Space. They made a game where you were a ghost. You got murdered. And it is it's the second game from Nintendo with an ESRB rating of M for mature. It is a game where you play as a ghost and you can like control like enemies, or you can like see a little rat on the ground and
by possessing them,
possess it, and then from there you can like control that and like move to another room and then jump from the rat's body to someone else's body and then unlock the door that you need to get through where you want to go. And yeah, that's it right there.
So I don't even feel like I need to pull up a trailer for this one, because this one was so ingrained in my memory because I had Nintendo Power Magazine and they did a big marketing push for Geist during that time. I really wanted Geist. I knew I would not be able to play that and not have nightmares because I was a scaredy boy whenever I was a young man, and I'm still a scaredy boy now as an old man. And so like I never played Geist, but I really, really wanted to. That game looked so cool, and it's such a good pick. Such a good pick, Chris.
Thank you very much. Yes.
You're welcome. Let's give Chris his flowers, chat.
Chris doesn't play normal games.
It's a good game though. Geist looks really good. It looks cool. Everything I saw in Nintendo Power about it was really cool. Oh man, he doesn't play normal games though, because I will tell you, like 4 out of 5 on here, a majority of people are probably not familiar with. I was familiar with 2 out of 5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I felt like that was pretty good on
3
there.
out of 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3 out of 6 for sure. My 4th game This is the one that I don't know that a lot of people would be that knowledgeable on, but I picked Ikaruga. Ikaruga was a arcade style shoot 'em up. I should probably just pull up a trailer for Ikaruga. It is like, what do they call that? It's not Drake style. It's turning your monitor vertically. It was a vertical shoot 'em up, not a horizontal shoot 'em up.
Like a tate.
Yeah.
Tate mode.
Now, it's already on Nintendo Switch, right? So it's already on Nintendo Switch. You can buy it, but I would love to just have the original version of it. Let me just pull up the Nintendo Switch trailer that they have for it, because I can't find the other trailer very easily. But it was interesting. It was super interesting, and it was my introduction to that genre, because I had not played anything like that before. And that was the first time I'd ever really played anything like that. I honestly don't even know how I got a copy of that, because I don't think was this one released in America?
Okay, so for this one, originally on GameCube it was, but in terms of this game, I wanted a Dreamcast. But I didn't want to. This was like when companies would release their systems like 9 months later. So I bought a Japanese Dreamcast with a VMU, Godzilla, and Sonic Adventure. And then I ended up getting this game because found out it wasn't coming out in America. And so I imported it. And then they were like, oh, we're bringing it to the GameCube. This is, I definitely this is the one where it's kind of like, for anyone that isn't aware of it, it's really good. Where it's got like, you flip your ship from like white or black, like the light or dark, and then that'll determine what bullets you don't get hit by.
Yep.
And
it's super different
from
that kind of tactical side of it, because like if you're watching it and you've never played it before, like you're not going to know what's going on. Like, why is that ship not exploding? If you've never played it before, you're going to be flabbergasted that there's any survivability in this bullet hell that's in here. That moment right there. It's like, how do you survive that? Well, you flip to your white side because you're immune to all the white bullets. Super unique game, like really fun gameplay. Probably one of my favorite games in the entire world.
I love Treasure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The developers.
Absolutely. What's your number 4, Chris?
My number 4, it's one there's 2 games I wanted as soon as I found out there was a microphone on the Switch too. And that one is Nintendogs. The other one is Odama. By golly, give me Odama. Odama was a game that came with a GameCube microphone. It had a microphone included. That microphone was also later included with the, I forget what's the name of that one GameCube. It was like some Mario Party game, right?
Yeah, it was Mario Party 8, I believe. 7 and 8 both use the microphone.
So this uses a microphone, and you kind of like give your units commands, and while you're also playing pinball and fighting the enemy. And this was a game that was made by Satoy. He did Seaman.
What?
Seaman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Seaman on the Dreamcast, and he also did a game on the Game Boy Advance. I don't know if you ever played it, called The Tower SP. It was really good. And then on the DS, they remade it as the Tower DS. But yeah, it was Sim Tower originally. So like they made it. It was they were like, we want something in Japan that's like Sim City, and so they said Sim Tower, where it's just like high-rise buildings. And then he went on to make Seaman, and then he made Odama. And yeah, very, very much love the fact that he did that. I mean, eventually they did end up making Seaman 2, which only came out in Japan on the PlayStation 2. But anyway, I want Odama, and I want it within the first year of the Switch 2.
No, Odama was another one of those that I knew from your list. I was like, okay, I know about Odama. I knew Geist, I knew Odama. And Odama's cool. I mean, it's a very different experience, and I think it could absolutely be done on the hardware that we have with Switch 2. And it should come. Right. It should absolutely come.
Along with Hey You Pikachu.
Well, don't get too far out there, because that's a Nintendo Switch 1 Nintendo Classics app. So there's no mic over there.
Nintendo Switch 2 mic app.
The third app for the N64. You got regular Nintendo 64, Nintendo 64 Mature, and Nintendo 64 Switch 2 might. My final game on the list here is going to disappoint Sakura and specifically Sakura. You mentioned it twice in the chat here now, and I feel bad because I didn't mention honorable mention to Rogue Squadron, but I don't think Star Wars games are going to come out on Nintendo Classics, unfortunately. Lucasfilm, LucasArts is not going to do that. I don't think. It would be cool if they did.
Coming out as a remaster, sort of like they did
sell
with
it.
All the other games,
the collection of stuff that they did recently. But my final pick is a cool little ditty known as Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. I freaking love this game. And here's what I think they could do. Granted, we don't have the slap tactics, but we do have a microphone. We can't be beating and banging on those Joy-Cons, but we can swing them around kind of like they do in Taiko no Tatsujin. And use the right and left Joy-Con as like drumsticks. I'd love for Donkey Kong Jungle Beat to get ported to the freaking Nintendo Switch 2. I want it. Like, I think it'd be so cool. It was one of my all-time favorites. So much so, you can't see them. They're hiding underneath that blanket, but I have 2 sets of the DK bongos over there. Like, I love that game. Like, it's freaking awesome.
I believe you.
Hang on, I'm going to go get them. You tell the people about it. You tell the people why it's a great game.
I'll tell you what, they had Donkey Konga, and then that one, it was just kind of like a music-based game. This one is also very much a rhythm, using the bongos to play, but yes, being able to do it. And then not only that, but it was like, because you had to tap it and then clap, but what was it? The trick was if you just tap the side of it, it would activate the microphone. Because it was like, so.
Well, yes. For a while there, I got really tired of clapping. We would play it all as a family in the living room. I got super tired of clapping, so we would, and everybody in my family did. So it was just a bunch of rednecks sitting in their living room playing the bongos and going, ah! when we'd want to clap, we'd just scream at the mic and it would like click it off. I was like, I'm so tired of clapping. My hands hurt, but that game is so fun.
Yeah, definitely. And then, what about the Donkey Konga 1 and 2? Did you like those?
I didn't like those as much. And part of the reason is I wasn't great at the rhythm side of those type of games. I'm good, and what I discovered later on in life is it wasn't my fault, because those games, their inputs are like a quarter of a beat faster than what it shows on the screen, so there's latency built into the game. Like they're like, you can't correct it. Yeah. So it's broken anyway. And all the songs were awful. Like the song selection on Donkey Kong, super bad, because they remade all of the songs for them. Like it's not even like the actual songs. It's not like Guitar Hero where you're like actually playing the real song. It's like a remade version of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But Donkey Konga was definitely, I enjoyed Donkey Konga. 1 and 2, I played them quite a bit, but yeah, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is the way to go.
What's your 5th game?
Easily. My 5th game is also sadly not Star Wars Rogue Squadron. But instead it was Doshin the Giant. Doshin the Giant is a game that I was super excited about. It was a game that was on my radar with the 64DD. Like back in the day, it was like I was super excited for Earthbound 64 and Doshin the Giant. I couldn't wait for those games to come out. I wanted Doshin the Giant. I still want Doshin the Giant in Smash Brothers. Also, his belly button looks very odd in them.
It's pokey outie. He's an outie.
Yep, he sure is an outie.
With not his pee-pee. Everybody stop. Everybody stop, chat.
But yes, this is a game that I was so excited for the game to come out on the 64DD, and then I was like, oh, they canceled it. But I mean, it came out in Japan, Doshin the Giant, and then they went ahead and remade Doshin the Giant 64DD and made it the GameCube, brought it out on the GameCube, which came out in Japan and Europe, but never came out in America. So it is in English in Europe, the European version, but it did not come to America. So this is one of those games where they could release it. It would just be on, we would just get the PAL version.
Yep. It'd be really cool. This is a very different game. Like it is another one of those games that I'm like, I'm not super familiar with it. And I don't know that a lot of people really are.
It's almost like Black and White, because you had mentioned earlier the other game by them.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like very much just hanging out as Doshin the Giant, going around helping out people, and also kind of like making your own town at the same time, your own towns and villages, and then people worship you, kind of. Yeah. Doshin
Super
the
different.
Giant. Very
Super
exciting. I would like that on the. I'd like Doshin to be in Smash Brothers as well. At one point, I thought about getting a Doshin the Giant tattoo, but I didn't want to have to explain what Doshin the Giant is.
What this gigantic yellow man with a PP belly button is to people.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh man. You had one more bonus pick. And
Yes.
I thought I did it first. I'll tell the people my bonus pick. My bonus pick is Wii Nintendo Classics coming so I can get Metroid Prime 3. Because I had it on the list, and then Chris was like, wait, that's a Wii game. And I was like, oh, shoot, you're right. So I'm just going to wish for Wii Nintendo Classics to come to Switch 2, which probably will happen, I would imagine. But what is your bonus pick there, Chris?
My bonus pick is none other than Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. It's a game that I thoroughly enjoyed on the GameCube and would love to see come to NSO, Nintendo GameCube Classics. But yeah, it's a game I played quite a bit of multiplayer. Did you play did you play this?
I did. I actually streamed it with a few friends somewhat recently, doing doing Four Swords Adventures 4-player over Parsec so we could all play it together. I emulated it on my PC. We did it with GBA connectivity too. So everybody had the map screen, the swappy screens.
Okay, yeah.
It was such a cool adventure, and honestly, like, it is fun. It is really fun. It's a competitive style game too, but you're actually having a campaign. For those who maybe don't know the difference between this one, there is one that is on the GBA app. Totally different thing. It is a roguelike. The one on the GBA app. But the one on the GameCube is a full-on, like, actual linear story. And I would say that it is kind of plagued a little bit by some imbalance on some of the puzzles and not really making a whole lot of sense. And also trying to link it up with four people playing a Zelda game. It's just so different and difficult. And then, yes, when you talk about playing it originally, if you wanted to play that game, and let's say you had four friends that didn't have any Nintendo consoles, because I had friends like that. Like, I had some friends that were hardcore PlayStation only. So I would have had to have had the GameCube, which let's say that's $200. Let's just say it's $200. Average cost of a GameCube from launch to the death of the GameCube. Let's say it's $200.
Yeah.
Then you have to have, 4 Game Boy Advances. Let's just say those are, $150 pop. Then you have to have 4 GameCube to Game Boy Advance link cables. And you have to have a copy of Four Swords Adventures to do it the way that it's intended. That's an expensive experience. Let's just put it that way. That is an expensive experience. So it was really hard back when it originally launched to be able to play it the way that God intended. And by God, I mean Reggie Fils-Aimé, even though he wasn't there yet. He came on during the Wii era, but
Yeah, he was busy with Bigfoot?
Yeah, Bigfoot pizzas. Pizza Hut. But it's an expensive experience. Like, it's very hard to say, hey, like, let's play this game. Nowadays, it's a lot easier. And if this came to Nintendo Switch Online, the only thing that I think would hold it back is the dual screen experience of it swapping screens.
Yeah, because would you even be able to do it without it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think you would need that second screen.
Yeah, I feel like it would need to be a remake.
Yeah.
And they would just have to do it that way. Or,
yep. I still want it to come, though.
It would probably be easier for them to do, how they did Miitopia?
I do know how they did Miitopia. Yeah.
Oh, like a remake, but do that for Triforce Heroes. That would probably be easier for them to make that then.
Here's what I would want them to do. Do you know the Castlevania collection that had the DS games on it?
Mm-hmm.
Just do that. Have the GameCube screen on there and the Game Boy Advance screen tinier.
Yeah.
It's totally doable.
Yeah. You know what? I also, now that you mention it, I want that Castlevania. You know what I'm going to say? I want that Castlevania DS collection with mouse controls.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really cool, actually. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be cool. Oh, man. Yeah. Final things. What is a game that will not show up on the Nintendo Classics GameCube collection that you 100% do not think will actually make it on there? And I'll tell you mine. 100% will not see Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door because we just got the remake of that. What about you?
Yeah, that's true. It would be running at 60 FPS though.
Yeah, it would be the superior version.
We are not going to see, sadly, Animal Crossing, mainly because it has all the NES games on it that you can play, and they're not going to give us that.
They don't want to do an emulator within an emulator? It's emulatorception over here.
Right. Plus, there's some NES games. I think there's some NES games on there that aren't even on the NSO Game Boy app, so. That's
true. That is true. It shouldn't be. NES games shouldn't be on the NSO Game Boy app. It should never be on there.
NSO and NES app, I meant. And NES Classics. Yeah.
Well, that is it for GameCube. And that is everything we know and our predictions for what we want to see to come out. I'm sorry, Susie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They made me do it.
Yep. I apologize. But if you guys have something that you want to see come out on the NSO Nintendo Classics GameCube app, let us know in the comments. Make sure if you're watching over on YouTube, hit us with a like. If you're watching here on Twitch, know that you're our favorite child. We are going to go to the Nintendo Fast Forward in just a moment. See you right after this jump. Chris, what's coming out?
I'll tell you what. There is a game called Captain Blood. And this game was originally in the works about 10 years ago and got canceled because the studio went bankrupt. And then there was about 10 years of litigation over who owned the rights to it. And they got it sorted out finally, and it's out today. So this is out on everything pretty much. And yeah, this is Captain Blood. Give it a go. Give it a gander. Check it out. Came out today. Was a canceled game that was pretty much done, and then they went ahead, touched it up, got it ready for modern consoles and platforms, and released it on everything.
Captain Blood is a pirate-themed action game set on the Spanish Main in the 17th century where you step into the boots of a fearsome pirate on a quest for gold and glory. Expect wild adventures with cannon firing, pistol shooting, swashbuckling sword fights, and plenty of pirate shenanigans. If they've shenaned once, they will shenan again. This action-packed hack-and-slash features fierce hand-to-hand combat, hordes of enemies, and a classic fighting system with flashy combos and epic finishers. 4.9 gigs. I don't know if that's going to fit on my Nintendo Switch 2 without me getting an express SD card.
Right,
but,
yeah.
you know, we'll get there. $22.49 on sale, 10% off. Sale ends on the 27th. Regular $24.99. Chris, that's kind of just about the extent of it on everything for what we've got going on the show. We do have one more segment. Before we throw it over to the outro, we have a new game show segment called the Pixel Minute, or Pixmin for short. In this segment, Chris has exactly 1 minute to guess the exact title of a game based on an image that is highly pixelated and will slowly reveal itself within 60 seconds. This game was, in Nintendo history, historically released within this week in dates, but maybe not this year, obviously. The faster that Chris guesses, the more points he gets. If it fully reveals itself by the end of the song, he will lose nothing. You get nothing. So, Chris, are you ready to do some Pixmin, my good sir?
I'm ready.
You gotta do a better showing than last week. I gotta say that much. You got a big old goose egg last week.
I understand. I know I do.
Let's fix it.
Well, let's fix it. You know what? We tested it out on the browser. We didn't test it out on the app. So hopefully it works.
Oh yeah, hang on 1 second. Let me turn on my camera for you because you wouldn't be able to guess it if. All right. Can you see me? Can you see me Can you see the screen?
I think so.
You think so, or you know so?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay.
Okay. I had to hit the button. Okay, I'm ready.
Hi, Chris. Okay. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
No pressure. Is this a Game Boy game?
I'm not giving you any hints.
Well, hold on.
The hint is the screenshot.
I'm guessing it is Mario. It looks like a Mario game, doesn't it?
No, not a Mario game.
It's not a Mario game? Is it a Kirby game?
It might be a Kirby game.
Yeah, I think it is Kirby.
Okay.
On Game Boy.
Okay.
No, Kirby Adventures?
No, not Kirby Adventures.
Oh, gosh, I don't... Kirby... Golly. Listen. We're once again going to get 0 points because this is...
Come on!
Kirby Return to Dreamland?
No, not Return to Dreamland. That was on a different console.
Or just Dreamland? No.
You're close. You're close.
Well, listen. I know it's Kirby.
It is Kirby. And
Is it just Kirby?
That's the end. No, it's not just Kirby. It is Kirby's Dreamland 2 for the Game Boy.
Well, Return to Dreamland, Dreamland 2.
You were giving me an aneurysm. Oh my gosh. Listen, Kirby's Dreamland 2. Let me tell you a little bit about Kirby's Dreamland 2. You missed it again. Two weeks in a row. Is this game too hard? Do I just need to tell you the answer next week?
No.
It's a 1995 action platform game developed by HAL Laboratories and published by Nintendo for the Game Boy handheld video game console. It was released in Japan on March 21st, 1995, and in North America on May 1st, 1995. It continues the adventures of Kirby from Kirby's Dream Land and Kirby's Adventure, adding 3 animal friends to aid Kirby in battle, and it can be played on the Super Game Boy and give slight color changes to the game, such as adding a custom color scheme, a special game board, and a few new sound effects. Christopher,
So,
2 weeks in a
I
row.
got it wrong.
Dang
2
it,
weeks
man.
in a row.
You were so close, though. I was like, come on. You're going to get there. You're going to get there. By the way, welcome in Calamity Nolan live over here on the Twitch. Thank you for rating in here. Everybody, please make sure that you go and give Calamity Nolan a proper follow and go say hi over there to him. No points for you, Susie says. No points for you.
Yeah, 0.
Nedist, I wasn't looking at the screen and I thought the music was the hint and I was going to yell at you. No, it's Pikmin. We're playing Pikmin. So if we had to use a little bit of Pikmin music. But, Chris, we got just a little bit of extra Nintendo news for the people. Do you think the people are ready for it?
I think they're ready.
I know Chris is. He's like, let's move on from that. Couple of things. Speaking of Pikmin and Pikmin, you can grab an all-new Pikmin wallpaper featuring blue Pikmin and Lily of the Valley flowers for free over on the My Nintendo store. There aren't any new physical items or sweepstakes, but the Xenoblade, Nintendo Switch Online, and Super Nintendo World sweepstakes, all three of those are still available to enter in. In terms of Nintendo Switch icons, play and redeem icons right now are Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, and Yoshi's Story. So if you play the game for like 30 minutes, you can go and redeem the icons for your Nintendo Switch account and use those. F-Zero 99 icons are still available until May 20th and will rotate weekly. Finally, new and returning Kirby and the Forgotten Land icons are on rotation still yet until May the 22nd. They will continue to rotate weekly with new ones every week. This week's Nintendo Music Update added Mario Kart 7's soundtrack, which is surprising considering that it was Golden Week and I didn't expect it to update again, where we got the extended tracks last week, and then like the next day after we did the show, they added the Mario Kart 7 soundtrack. So
oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's what we got. So you may have another soundtrack hit tomorrow because we didn't get anything else new today. Keep an ear at your Nintendo Music app. Atari kicked off their publisher sale, and that is going on until the 11th. You can snag games like Atari 50, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Power Rangers, Rita's Rewind, and Bread and Fred at up to 80% off. Couple of small pieces of news here. There was an eShop update in the latest Switch system update that transforms the Nintendo's digital storefront and puts some of the shovelware, not software, my apologies, puts some of the shovelware in the back line instead of those publishers manipulating their charts to be on the front page. It's also red instead of orange, so let me know how you guys feel about that.
And
then
really changed it up.
Oh yeah, they did. And then eShop gift cards are getting a facelift for the Switch too, showing off DK's new look among others. So they are really going hard on this new Donkey Kong marketing. Which is really cool.
Right.
Really, really cool. Chris, where can they find you, my good sir?
Pretty much Super Nintendo on everything. Yeah. What about you? Where can they find you, for crying out loud?
Oh, you can find me over at twitch.tv/NerdWirePlays or over on my website, nerdwireplays.com, to be able to catch up with everything going on with me. And then, as far as that goes, you can also catch all of our past episodes in video form over at youtube.com/@the-Nintendo-Rewind. If you just visit our little podcast playlist, you can see all of them. Visit our site for links to all of our social media pages at nintendorewind.com and consider supporting the show through memberships, merch, whatever you'd like to grab over there. Thank you guys so freaking much for watching. Remember, you can catch us live weekly Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch and on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit that follow button or that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And rewind. Please be kind. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.
Toodaloo.